All right, so we're gonna do the swing recap for this week, September looks like 12th. All right, and so first thing I want to go over and say is that when I put out my swing ideas, it's usually on a Sunday, and I don't know what's gonna happen that Monday. So I don't know if it's gonna gap up. I don't know if it's gonna gap down. I'm basing this on pure technical analysis on what I've seen from the charts after Friday close, right? So I'm looking at what has the best chance to go up the following week. So I want everyone to take that in consideration, but also understand what I'm looking at. So after a while, you're in our group, you'll understand exactly what I'm looking for in the trade. So I'm not just like putting these out there and crossing my fingers, right? It's technical analysis mixed with other things, maybe volume, high volume candle, and um, for the most part, most of my swings you're not gonna have to worry about holding the bag. You're not gonna have to really worry about losing a lot of money. You might not make a ton of money, but You're also not gonna lose a lot of money if you play it correctly. You'll probably not lose any money at all. So the first stock I want to look at is VTSI, and this one I said here in the swing ideas that I like it above 850. So if I put a line here at 850 to see exactly what you can see what I was looking at, it was a clear breakout right here. This is a daily chart, by the way. So this is what happened Friday right here. Is this candle? It broke through here on Friday, and it was clear breakthrough. But also, what I want you to notice here is where I would plan exit. So once you're in a trade, you have to be planning where you want to exit, at least the area that you're wanting to exit. Not it doesn't have to be exact, but you want to give an idea of where you want to get out of the trade. So Monday happens. It kind of had a weak open, and then it actually went. So if you got in Monday here at let's say 930s, 925, you would have been able to ride it all the way up to about 990s. I wouldn't have got in because on this trade, my exit is right here. So I'm looking to buy a dip towards the bottom of here. So if I say I like it above 850, it means that I wish that it gapped down. I hope that it gapped down here, and I would have bought this dip at 850, and then I would have rode it back up towards this 10 area. So that would have been my trade right there, but it didn't happen. I'm not gonna buy here at the very top of where I'm trying to exit. So keep that in mind. If it gaps up and it's getting close to where I want to exit, I'm not buying right here. So what I actually did is I bought it this day when it dipped. So when it dipped this day, I bought in towards the bottom here. I believe it was 870, 875. I got in, I positioned myself in this day, and I stuck around. I made a little bit of profit this day. I didn't sell, but when it didn't go any further up on Thursday, I sold because it didn't do what I was expecting it to do. I mean, it's still above 850. If anyone's still watching this and you're still able to get in this, I still like it above 850. I'm probably not going to trade it anymore, but as long as it stays above 850, it can probably trade within this range. So it entered a new range. If you go ahead and just put a line right here at the low end of the range, then you're looking at the previous range was about 665 ish to about 850, right? But once it got out of the range, now it's in a new range, and now you can see it trading within that range. So that was that. But again, I didn't lose money on the trade. I made money on the trade, just not as much as I wanted to make, but still, it wasn't a loss. So the next one was SGMA. All right, so if I go ahead and put a line here, right here, 720, it's already there. All right, so I said I like dips above 720, right? And it didn't get back to where my dip was, but it did hold this area. So this right here was the area that I was looking at here, 720. So on Monday, this was Friday right here when it broke through this area. On Monday when this held, then you could get in because I'm still waiting for it to dip But also, one thing that you could be looking at too is if the previous resistance held as support, then it still has uptrend opportunity. So it still could be going having upwards momentum if it can hold support for the previous resistance, which it did. So it had a little bull flag here, and you can see it went from, let's say, $8 all the way to, it topped out at about 12.50s. So it was probably our best swing idea this week. But also, you could also get in right here, and if it were to come dip below here, you have some more support. So you always want to, when you're looking for a trade like this to happen, you could get in here. You start in half of your size, half of your position size here, and if it were to fall, you have support here. So when I'm looking for a swing, I want to know that there's support below. I want to know that it's not just gonna fall all the way down to 250s or 5s. So this thing is like, what's the worst case scenario if it were to break 8? It'll go to 720, and then you're looking at a bounce back. So a lot of support here. Nice swing, and I don't know. That was a decent move there. I believe it was, say, $8 or $12. That was like a 50% move right here. But it's very low volume. Volume wasn't great, but very decent move there for a small, low volume mover. I normally don't like trading low volumes. Most of my swing trades are going to be mid to high volume, but low volume ones, if the chart sets up correctly, then there's a trade there. So what will call my attention here too is there was volume here recently, then it kind of just consolidated for a while, and then this one right here just made me feel pretty bullish on it. When this candle blew through right here, it just blew way past the previous resistance, and that was pretty bullish for me, enough for me to put it on my swing idea. But yeah, that was our top gainer for the week. All right, the last one, AUPH. AUPH here, very similar to VTSI kind of, where it was kind of just kind of leveling up, and then you had this high volume day from back in January. At the end of January, it had this huge volume day, but then it just kind of fell apart after that, and then it started to come back. And so Friday, when I did alert, it was, Monday, sorry. Monday, it was this day. Yeah, it was this day. So it just broke through. So if you see, all right, so this was Friday right here. This was a Friday. So what I seen here was it clearly broke through the previous resistance, and it used the previous resistance as support. So you see how this was the previous resistance here, and it clearly just broke through here, and then it used that resistance as support. So then you knew that it had potential for an uptrend. But also, if you look in the group, I said that I like a bounce off 1875. So, but when I say I like dips above that number, that means that any type of dips that's above that number, up until that number, I'm liking to pick up. So you would have made money on Monday if you would have got in on Monday. It would have dipped down to 1925s, and then it went all the way to about 21. So nice 10%, 15% gain right there if you were to make that move. But if not, it circled back around for you on Thursday. It came and it pretty much bottom ticked exactly where I said, 1875, and it bounced up the next day all the way to about 21 and change here. I think it topped out. Let's see here. The high was 21.27. So nice $2 per share gain right there. Over $2 a share gain right here on that move. I think the move's still there. But for me, usually swing trades, I look for that week, and if it doesn't set up that week, then I'm moving on to the next one. This one still has it still has potential, but you can see the high volume day here back then, and it closed below that too. So that's not great. But as long as it stays in this area, you can see for a nice potential breakout. Um, Also right here, once it breaks this level again, so it tested the 2180s. Once it tests it again, it's looking at a 52-week high. So I love stocks that are getting close to 52-week highs. A lot of people do, just because once it clears that 52-week high, there's no more resistance. There's nothing stopping it from going up any higher, right? So if you look at here, even though I had a swing idea from here, that's where you're looking to exit, right? Because you're going to run into that. You're going to run into this right here, which is 2050s, and then you're going to run into 2180s right here. So you have to be aware of that when you're swinging. You can't just pray that that it's going to fly. You have to have an exit strategy for all your trades. You have to know where you're looking to exit, where it's going to come to some resistance. But again, this thing, if volume starts to pick up, it can go. But that was a trade there. That was a decent trade for you to take right there, 1920s to 2180s. It was there, it's available. All right, hope that helped. See you guys in the room, and see you for this week's trades.